The Miami single-family home market just hit a major milestone. 7 months of inventory. That is 3 straight months in full buyer's market territory. Sales are slowing, inventory is stacking up, and sellers are negotiating more than they have in more than 10 years. If you're thinking about buying, this might be the leverage moment that you've been waiting for. What's up, guys? Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, and this is your July 2025 market update for single-family homes in Miami-Dade County. And we have a big update today, huge shifts this month that every buyer really needs to see. And I'm going to break it all down for you in this video with 4 quick graphs. If you want to talk about your personal game plan, the link to book a one-on-one consultation with me is in the description down below, completely free. And all my contact info is down there as well, so reach out to me directly. So we're going to start off today with this graph right here, number of sales and average days on market. So let's start off with the closings. Just 870 homes sold in July, which is 62 fewer than June, and that's down 6.7% month over month. All right, now compared to last July's 1,067 sales, we're down a full 18.5% year over year. That is a serious cool down, guys, almost 19%. Rounded up to 20, you might as well. We're probably going to get there soon. Average days on market, that is the blue line here. You can see came down a little bit overall since the beginning of the year, but month over month, it actually ticked up slightly to 86 days, which is a 34% slowdown compared to a year ago. All right, now buyers, this gives you time. All right, homes are sitting longer on the market, and that opens up the door for better deals and less competition. All right, now next graph we have here is going to be active listings. Active listings came down a touch from 6,486 in June to 6,282 in July, but we're still carrying 1,300 more listings than this time last year. So if you look at the green line, you can see it ticked down a little bit month over month. But then if you look at last year, you can see we are significantly higher compared to that time. So, even fewer new homes are hitting the market, and we're seeing inventory lingering. It's just the market's cooling down overall. And with just 870 homes selling last month, we're now sitting at 7 months of inventory. Checking out that blue line right there. We had a bigger pop in January, but Januaries tend to slow down rather in terms of sales. You can see every January pretty much there's a big pop up. But summertime, normally, traditionally summertime is a time when the market heats up because the kids are out of school. It's easier to move, so a lot of people are moving during the summertime. But, right now we're sitting at 7 months of inventory, which again, 3 months in a row, we've been in 7 months of inventory, which is a official buyer's market, okay? 6 months and less is a seller's market because the market's moving quick. Or rather less than 6 months. 6 months is considered a balanced market, and then over 6 months is considered a buyer's market, okay? So, it's not just for this month. It's been 3 straight months, which, we can consider that a trend now. When something happens just 1 month, we can't necessarily call it a trend because it's sort of just a one-off, right? But if it happens 3 months in a row, now we can start to say, okay, this is a trend now. We're seeing this market really, really slow down in a time in the summer when normally we see the market moving a little bit quicker, okay? So in this kind of environment, buyers, you guys have a lot more negotiation power than we have seen in years, literally, okay? Now check out this next graph here where you're going to look at boo-ba-da-boo. Close price. I can't get my graphs right here. All right, let me zoom in. You would think there'd be a better way to do this. Maybe I'll figure it out one day. Now, check out this next graph. We have the close price to original price ratio. What is that? Basically, it's just a ratio describing the average difference across the market between what a seller listed at versus what they actually sold for. So if it was listed for $100,000 and it sold for $90,000, that's a 90% close price to original price ratio. So what did it come in at? Well, check out this green line here. You can see it is down in the basement at 94.0%. That is the lowest that we've seen in at least 5 years. And I actually looked back as far as the data would go, which was about 10 years, and it's the lowest in 10 years as well. So that means sellers are cutting their asset asking prices or giving more concessions to get deals closed more than they have in over a decade, okay? More than the data goes back, all right? Last year, this time, it was at 96.6%. So if we look back here, boom, I mean, that's a mountain of a difference. This is like a black diamond down. You went up the bunny slope here, not much of a bunny slope, but you get what I mean. Went up a little bit and then straight back down to the basement. From 96.6 to now 94.0 in 1 year. That really underlines and exemplifies just how much sellers are having to discount in order to get their deals done. And some of them aren't even getting the deals done. If you look at the blue line here, expired listings also jumped. Now, the expired listings are sitting currently at 1,686, which is 77 more than the last month. You can see that little line goes up right there, 77 increase of 77 expired listings month over month. However, we are 11% higher than last year, okay? So if you look over here, boom, significantly higher than last year, 11%. That's nothing to sneeze at. It just goes to show, not only are sellers having to discount their asking prices in order to get deals done, but, a lot more sellers aren't getting the deals done because the market has cooled down so much. So many buyers have taken a step back, decided to sit on the sidelines, wait to see, hey, what's going to happen with this market, okay? So, homes they're pricing too high, they're sitting too long, and they're just not selling, all right? So all of that points to more leverage for well-prepared and well-positioned buyers, okay? Now, next up, let's take a look at new listings. Boom. Nice. I like how that jumped in there. Hopefully that keeps happening for other videos. Now, new listings held steady at 1,669. There's just a slight difference there. Looking at the green line, it looks pretty flat. Now, just 2 more than June, okay? So that's why I said it's pretty steady. But year over year, slightly down. If we look at boom back here in July, pretty similar amount of new listings year over year. So no flood of new inventory, but still, a healthy flow of new inventory, enough that, we see active inventory, going up, right? Now, and so with sales down and active inventory up, that's why we see months of inventory going up, all right? Now, median sale price came in at, look at that blue line. See how that thing's going down? We like to see the line go down if we want good deals, right? So median sale price came in at $661,000. That's down just $4,000 from June and almost identical to last July's $660,000. So that kind of price stagnation, especially in one of the strongest real estate markets in the country, is another sign that this is a market leaning in your favor for buying, okay? Generally, in the past, we've just seen prices of single-family homes go up. And you can see over the long-term trend line, if you're worried about buying a house and 5 years from now, being upside down on it, well, chances are you probably won't, because just, 4 years ago, I guess that's 5 years ago, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 years ago, okay? I don't claim to be a mathematician, okay? But I do love statistics. Different things, okay? One different thing within a different thing. You get what I mean. All right. So just 4 years ago, median sale price was at $500,000. Okay. So $150,000, increase in median sale price in just 4 years. Okay. So, I would say real estate is still a safe, still a safe buy. Something where you can park your money if you need to buy a home, anyways. Better than paying rent, that's for sure. Where you're basically 100% negative on the money that you're putting in. Okay, so to recap, what's going on? We've got rising inventory, slower sales, longer days on market, and the biggest seller concessions that we've seen in years, over a decade, remember. Now, if you're a buyer right now in Miami-Dade, this market is inviting you to negotiate, okay? Sellers are begging you to negotiate. I have never received more emails, text messages, phone calls from other agents saying, hey, we're doing a price reduction. Oh, hey, I saw that you sent this listing to your client. Are they interested? So, whether or not you're looking for your first home or looking for a long-term investment, this is your chance to buy smart, okay? And if you're ready to take advantage of that slowdown, let's talk, okay? I love to negotiate. It's my favorite thing to do. I always tell people my favorite things are making people money and saving people money. And, that's what I encourage you to do. Hit the link below, book a private consultation with me. Let's build your strategy and prepare you to make, the best deal potentially of your life in this real estate market, okay? I can't guarantee that prices won't go down another $4,000 in a month, but what I can guarantee is that over the long term, in the next 4 years, in the next 10 years, prices will be higher in Miami-Dade. Let's not forget, this is a very high demand market. Everybody and their grandma and their pet iguana wants to move to Miami. A lot of the pet iguanas are already here. But this is a very high demand market. It is expected by all the experts, including myself, to continue to grow through the years, okay? I'm bullish on Miami over the next 10 years. We might be getting a rate cut in the next month in September. So this is the time really to start strategizing, okay? Because if we see rates go down, let's imagine that we get a 50 basis point rate cut in September. That could, bring the par rate into the 5% range, okay, with some lenders, depending on their par rates. I think it's 80 or 85% of homeowners have an interest rate that's either 5% or below. So the closer we get to that 5%, the more sellers are going to be able to actually release those golden handcuffs and feel like, okay, hey, we can purchase something for ourselves now and be able to probably negotiate for themselves a good deal. But at the same time, not have to demand so much out of their price. They'll be able to take a little bit of a haircut on their price because, they'll be able to get a lower interest rate potentially, okay? Hypotheticals, I know. I'm just sort of, musing out loud here, guys. But the other flip side to that is as interest rates go down, the more buyers are going to come into the market. So now is the time to get your strategy on lock and, be prepared to strike, especially if you're a well-positioned, well-prepared buyer in this market. You can do things like buying down your interest rate, working with an excellent agent who knows how to negotiate well for you. You can negotiate things like, the seller's paying for closing costs, credits to the buyer. There's all kinds of different ways to get the job done in your favor, but this is your time to strategize, buyers. I cannot stress that enough. Do not be scared by the doom and gloom headlines. The market is not going to crash. I will bet on that, okay? In Miami-Dade, the market is not going to crash for single-family homes. We have an ocean on one side and a whole bunch of alligators and crocodiles on the other side, so there's only so much room to build single-family homes. There's a limited supply, okay? So single-family home values are going to remain overall consistent and strong, okay? So that's the overall message. Do not be scared. Now is the time to book your strategy session with me down below with my calendar link, or reach out directly to me. All my direct contact info is right there for you. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty. And if you appreciated this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the videos that I put out. Shooting for twice a week, but we're trying our best over here, guys. But I'm putting out videos every month, at least a video every week. So, smash the like button if you appreciate that, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.